Go DJ. Go DJ. Oh, go DJ. Go DJ. Huh. Go DJ.
Would it be for my man Mike V to the right? Then it's Winnie. We getting really silly. We can get it really jiggy.
Go DJ.
How I do it, can't stop.
Go DJ.
Legacy, who I be from the NY. Do it till I D-I-E. Shout out to my baby girl Angeline. Me, hey.
Go DJ.
It is awesome to have everybody here.
Go. It's unscripted. It's unscripted.
Yeah. Man, oh man.
Yo, Mike, man. God damn it.
Mike,
The fucking vibes, baby.
I had you know what I'm saying? It's unscripted. Just started a live that I'm going to join and turn my volume down. Yeah.
Say, turn it up. Turn it up.
You know what I'm saying? Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So she said the echo is crazy.
Yeah, and I only see
Yeah, you only gonna see him. You only gonna see Mike.
Okay.
Cause we're on that view. Yeah, we're on that view. So,
yeah, it is.
but I could do this for the people. I could switch it up, and you know what I mean. Hopefully they see everybody. Hopefully they. See
Do I need to
It's working, but it's not working. You know what I'm saying? It's
What if I pull that back? Same thing, right?
You could try.
I'm just.
You know what I'm
Trying to
saying?
make it a little bit better, bro.
We're trying to get all the technical stuff.
Yeah, you know how that go. You know how that go. And then if you want, you could pull that one back too. And then, well, damn. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I would just turn it, cause it's like, turn it that way. Yeah.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? Let's pull it back a little bit. Keep going. Keep going. All right.
That's good.
I believe so. I hope so. I mean, I see everything. Remember, we're on a landscape view, so you know everybody else is. You know, if they watching somewhere else, like you know, Facebook, Twitch, the professional stuff. You know, Instagram. You know, you get what you get with the gram. You know what I mean? You get what you get with the gram. My man sent us back to the Stone Age. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
So are we really ready to start? The echo's going? Is the echo better?
that's the real question. Is the echo gone? Is the echo still here? You know what I mean? Is everything good? Yeah, see, we been on Facebook. All the cool people like, oh, we like Facebook. Okay. All right. So big shout out to all the amazing people that are joining us on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. I think we're also on Twitter. I don't know. We're everywhere. That's all that matters. So she said the echo is better. It's probably just just blasting because all three mics were going at this. You know what I mean? So that's probably where the echo was coming from. But it's always a pleasure. It's always a jam. It's all good, bro. It's all good. So you know how that thing go, bro. You know how that thing go. So big shout out to everybody. Happy Wednesday, y'all. It's a rainy Wednesday, but it's all good because we in the building. You know what I'm saying?
In the blood clot building.
So we had a special announcement for you guys.
Beep, 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 beep.
You know what I mean? I mean, to us, it's always been official, but now it's official.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
My man,
They sandbag.
yo,
Hey!
my man DJ MVP
MVP.
is part of the UnScripted podcast officially.
Yes, sir.
Do it. Y'all gonna get the echo. It's okay. It's okay. So we just gonna talk about this amazing young man, and all that good stuff, and just everything in general about life, man. We just gonna have a good time. We're gonna talk about, what makes the MVP the MVP. You know what I mean? And we thank you for being part of the group, man. We thank you for being a part of the team.
I'm honored
man.
to be a part of this. Every week when I get to come out, like, I'm just grateful. So, since I'm a guest today and on the panel, I'm gonna let you guys do what you do and come up with some questions to ask.
Oh yeah, we got questions.
Nothing personal,
The questions, they come. The questions will never leave us. They will never leave us. You know what I mean? We have the questions. So, first things first. How did you come up with the name DJ MVP? Like, I know your name, but how did you come up with DJ MVP?
I actually didn't. So I started learning this trade, this craft, and I got an opportunity to play at this like CD dive bar.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, what's your DJ name?" And I was like, "It's MV, being Michael Victor, which is my first name, right?"
Okay.
And so he's gonna make some flyers and posters and stuff. And I get there and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't like DJ MV. It sounded like
DJ MV,
like,
yeah."
And so he's like, "I made you MVP." And I was like, all right, like I rocked with it. Like it didn't really matter at that moment.
Okay.
And then the weeks to follow, I was like, yo, let me see if I can get an email with that. And I was able to get Mike DJ MVP at Gmail. So if you want to message me, Mike DJ MVP at gmail.com. And then
got it.
I went on Facebook Business, and getting DJ MVP was easy. I think because they're not as particular with the domain names as some other platforms. And then on Instagram, I just had to add the number 1.
Okay.
So that really meant like everybody at the time on Instagram, I was the second person to try to request this name in the whole Instagram domain. So I was like, bet, done. And,
yeah.
And I just rocked with it.
It was solidified for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about, because I remember way back when we were discussing that you actually did music, and how you transitioned into being a DJ. Can you give us that story again, maybe for those who have never heard the story before, who's never, who is now getting to know DJ MVP?
So, I'm going to give the pre-story, like the origin story first, and then we're going to get into how I got here today.
Okay.
So, like, ever since, like, childhood, always into performance, into music. I was in, like, choir in church, and I sang in chorus in school. I played, like, the viola. I learned the trumpet. I played, like, the tuba and the trombone. And then by middle school, I got into percussion. And from there, I started playing on, like, these, like high school cover bands just for fun. Okay. So I learned a little bit about guitar and piano at that point. And now we're, like, fast forward to where I'm, like, 26. And I've tried these bands over and over again. Like the direction was never focused. Like they wanted to write original music, which I wasn't against, but I was like, let's learn some covers so we could play in like the commercial bars and stuff out here and actually get paid. Get our name out there as a group, get some followers, and right when I was like kind of like done with the band thing, I moved back to my parents' house. And the neighbor who had moved in next door, this guy was a DJ.
Okay.
And I see him throwing all these parties, and I became friends with him. And we were getting drunk on Friday nights. I was like, yo, teach me. He's like, nobody touches my equipment. Like, he was like very protective. And then finally, I guess convinced him, persuaded him. He started showing me. And that was in 2006. So I didn't understand anything this guy was showing me because he was wasted. But I the volume controls a little bit of the aspect. Fast forward to 2010, I meet this guy, Bobby Shea, and he showed me like really how to like beat match and to formulate playlists and like cohesive sets and things like that. He took me out and I learned a little more about like what we consider the mobile industry, like doing weddings and sweet 16s and those kind of parties. So I learned like lighting software and video software. So like when a client gives you like a montage, getting that up on the screens and how to do that. And I started, growing a little bit. but still like in this infancy, I want to say.
Okay.
So by 2013, I linked up with this guy Brian Gordon and started getting clubs. So I was playing downtown Huntington for a little bit and starting to build a little bit of a name for myself. And right around that same time period, I did a young lady, she was 2 at the time. I did this girl Melody's birthday party. And I met this awesome guy, owns a huge company out here on Long Island, Evan. And he asked me if I'd come be an entertainer with his company.
Okay.
And that's where I meet you two. Because I got to...
It's funny, I was going to be like, Evan from Party Hardy? It's a different Evan. Shout out to Evan. Damn it.
You helped build this animal.
That's what's up.
So, working, with Party Hardy and being a dancer at that point, I learned a lot more about higher production in this industry.
Okay.
And then at that point, my skills in terms of like mixing and DJing were definitely getting a lot more refined.
Okay.
Because I'm playing these clubs like maybe once or twice a month, and then I'm getting a private event here or there. And then when I wasn't full, Josh over there would just mix me in the calendar with Party Hardy stuff.
Dope.
And then,
Big shout out to Josh again, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Happy he's doing well, like as far as his surgery.
100%.
You know what I mean? So big shout out to Josh.
Beautiful family with the baby and the wife.
Yeah. So go ahead, yeah. Josh putting you on.
So and now with Party Hardy, I want to say like my second or third year, and they gave me an opportunity to work in the office, which like this was like an amazing education experience because I learned higher technical software, how the whole operation really from start to finish, sitting with a client, locking in a gig, the equipment that we needed to go out on a job, the staffing you needed to go out on a job, working with other vendors, because even though maybe, the salesperson in most situations, it was Howie over there, would have to put the whole piece together for the client.
Yeah.
It was many, hands that were involved. He working out whatever the setup negotiation with the catering hall, contacting the photo booth company or the photographer, getting those pre-shots, getting them over to the other company so we can get the layout of those on the tiles or hung up or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then from there actually, I wasn't gonna talk about this part of the story, but like when my time with Party Hardy ended, was the beginning of a really dark period of my life. It had nothing to do with the loss of the job there. I actually lost the job because of the path I was heading down. And this industry sometimes comes with a lot of extracurriculars. Sometimes it might just be a little bit of drinking. Sometimes it might be a little bit of smoking some pot.
Yeah.
I got into some heavy substances, and I think it was becoming evident to the big three over there at Party Hardy, Josh, Evan, and Howie, and they had to say, "Oh, you got to get well."
Okay.
And it took me a while before I even wanted to get well, and it did happen.
Okay.
And when the beginning of that period happened, I thought I would never DJ again. I had burned bridges with clients. I had burned bridges with other people in this industry. One of my close friends, I owed him a couple of $100, probably close to like $2,000, and he had my at the time MacBook, which was like my brain for this whole operation. You can do this without a computer, but in this day and age, most of us use computers. And I was like, yo, I don't know how I'm gonna pay you back. Keep that computer. I'm probably never gonna DJ again after falling off and being away for a couple of months and burning some clients. I'm never gonna do this again. And it's funny because the spirituality that I come from now, I could have my will in situations, but God's gonna be like, you came up with a plan. Guess what? I got something different for you. I got a better plan for you. And little bit by slowly, I started getting pulled back into the business. Friends of mine that were in the industry, like, yo, can you just MC this party? It's a small gig, blah blah blah. Like, I'll send you everything you need. Like, I'll give you a computer to work on, whatever it is. Here's speakers, all that. I know you have the skill. DJ for me, do this party. And so then I decided, let me like revamp my setup and get equipment again, get a computer again.
Yeah.
And this was about 4 years ago that all this started. And then right when I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this again, COVID happens. And I'm ready to go, and we can't really have parties. And it kind of worked out because it was enough time to like me to kind of learn more about this business,
Okay.
refine my craft, find other people that work in this industry, and to come out of COVID. Now I got 6 DJs that work with me. I have other entertainers. I have MCs. I have people that are on like a standby list. Even like when I get to this level, I know I got these seasoned guys that I can call and they're gonna rock the house. As I get my core group, more developed to be at that level. And so 4 years ago, I thought I'd never DJ again, and now I actually have my own LLC, my own company, and this is all I do. I don't work for anybody else except my clients. Like, that's really who I work for.
Yeah, it's a big flex, big flex.
So that's my story.
Big claps.
Yeah, man, big hand claps.
Big hand claps.
Big hand claps. You know what I mean? Yeah, artistic stuff going in there, man. So, like, what do you find is your biggest joy, like, doing what you're doing? Because, I mean, like, it's one thing to say, okay, I'm not working for anybody, but you have to have some kind of joy in whatever you do. Like, for us, we do a lot here. You know what I mean? But like doing the podcast
after midnight.
You know what I mean? Like seriously, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I've left here at 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning just to come back at freaking 9. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what that entrepreneur life is about. So like, but for us, the joy of everything is really just knowing that we're giving somebody a product that they requested and somebody else was not able to fulfill it. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where the satisfactory comes in. Like, okay, we did something that, nobody else could, particularly
do. It's funny you say that because that's kind of how I want to, like, we were always connected. You would always message me and like posts and stuff like that. But I reached out to you to make me some gear. And I had reached out to several people prior, and they were all like, oh, we'll get back to you, and they would blow off my project. I remember sending my logo to this lady in like Connecticut, and she's like, I'll get back to you in like 2 weeks. And then it was just forgotten, no follow-up. And I'm like, I'm not going to chase you down to give you my money.
Yeah.
Like, if you want my business, you should, and you were like immediate. You're like, yo, I got you. It might cost a little bit. I'm like, I don't care about how much it costs. I just want this now.
It's and that's the thing. I mean, for us, it's crazy because like I'm the one that's like trying to make sure everybody saves a buck. And everybody else in the team is like, this is a for-profit company, not a non-for-profit. So you're gonna have to charge what you charge. I mean, like, rent isn't free. Like, electricity and Wi-Fi and telephone and email.
Thread.
You know what I mean? Website, Thread. All of that isn't free. So, when our thing is, for us at least, we're being held accountable. I think that's the thing that allows us to, connect with some of our, amazing clients and customers. That we're being held accountable. They can say, Sam, hey, you kind of messed up on this. Boom, boom. All right, let's rectify it. Let's change this, let's fix this. All right, like for example, I did Howie's hats. Shout out to Howie. And one of the hats got messed up. I could have been like, just save some dollars and take the, save whatever. You know what I mean? But like, I was like, nah, I'm gonna make him a different hat, and he loved the hat that we made. You know what I mean? So he was like, oh, so about these camo hats. You know what I mean? Howie doesn't talk like that, but shout out to Howie.
Love you over there.
Terrible.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all about customer service. We in a business that we are taking care of people. We are in people's lives. So it's really all about customer service, and that's we spoke about this yesterday or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's literally like just you literally taking care of whatever somebody else's needs, and you're giving them a service that they trust you, and that's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like to answer your initial question, like that's where a lot of my fulfillment comes in. Like, I'm very responsive when it comes to my clients. So like from start to finish, like if somebody is inquiring about an event right now, or has questions about their upcoming event, as soon as this podcast is over, I'm responding to those text messages, phone calls, and emails.
Yeah.
And then, like right now, kind of, I'm in this like evolution period, learning how to like now become a business owner, manage a team, and worry about other odds and ends in this business. And it could be stressful, but if I go in with that mindset, like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is stressful. Like, I gotta go deal with the accountant. Oh, I gotta go like talk to the staff member about like his report at an event or whatever it may be. I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. So I'm trying to enjoy the whole process. So like the other day I had to sit down with one of my guys and he was just like kind of borderline inappropriate jokes.
Okay.
And I like instead of going in there like wanting to jump down his throat, I actually made him assess his own behavior. And
how did you do that? You got to break that down.
So I said, well, let's look at the event from the other day. What do you think went well? What do you think could have been better? And what do you think you did wrong? And he basically nailed everything on the head that I would have discussed. But he was able to critique himself, which that I want my team to be able to do. Be able to critique yourself so you improve. And he's like, yo, there was one point at the party and I said something and I need to get more of a PG-13 filter. I was like, it wasn't as big of a deal as we're looking at it, but you're right. At a certain event, most events, you can't use expletives at all, and it just kind of slipped out. It was in the moment, but it wasn't like so fiery that it was like it shocked everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm glad you caught that, and as long as I know you want to get better at it, and so like instead of looking like, oh, I gotta discipline this guy, I might have to let him go. Get it. Like, I don't know. And then the other parts, like I guess, obviously, the part everyone sees, like, or why anybody would ever want to become a DJ, that is very enjoyable. Like, once we're all set up, good to go, and the music's going, and the dance floor's live, and I just, like, I'm so in tune with the crowd that I do this little switch up, and they're like, oh, like, getting those reactions, like, that just lights me up. Like, the other day, it was just, I'm playing a TGI Fridays. I'm covering for somebody. It was probably I was bored out of my mind. No one in there. It was right after the Dallas football game. And I even wrote like a post about just being grateful. This is what I get to do. I'm bored right now. But I played Drake, Nice for What? And there's that part, a little sample of Lauryn Hill's voice, and she's like, watch the breakdown. And I jumped into freaking 679, about Fetty Wap, and the bartender was like, oh, man, that was a sick transition. Like, it wasn't, like, to me, I was just like, I'm just doing my thing, having fun. I'm not even working a crowd. And to get that little reaction.
Yeah, that's fire.
Those moments.
And you gotta play when nobody's watching, like not even really pay attention. Like you're in settings sometimes. We're in settings where it could be a party where you just not even feeding off of nobody's energy, but it's only your energy that's gonna make everybody want to dance, yo.
So you gotta build it up, like
you got to build it up, yeah.
The girls aren't dancing, the boys dorky, and it's like, you gotta like, all right, come on, get over here. We're gonna make this. You're gonna have the time of your life right now. Come on, Stuart. We know you can twerk.
Man says Stuart,
not Stuart.
Not Stuart.
Oh man. So, what are some of the difficulties that you're experiencing? Because there's always gonna be hiccups. What are some of the things that you were like, damn? But it might have made you better.
So personally, I guess inside me, I want to grow really fast. Like I want to get to that end goal or the bigger part of the picture. And one of my guys is like, it's better we just continue to grow at the pace we are than to try to take on all this talent that doesn't embody what we're trying to be. And so like that's like more internal conflict. Other things like I gotta put this out there, and I if you're listening, I love you to death, okay? But I have to bring this scenario up.
Disclaimer.
So I have this one client, and she really tries her best to stick her neck out there for me and put me on a lot of work. And so this being involved with a school district, I now have a couple of school districts, and a lot of the time school districts plan things around the same day. So like a father-daughter dance or special person dance is like it's gonna be right around Valentine's Day. So having 5 or 6 schools, I can't do them all myself, but I might be able to staff them all. So I'm like, let me get their dates at the beginning of the school year.
Yeah.
So this recently just happened this weekend. And I had these dates from this client all the way back in August. And we also had another event that day, plus a Sweet 16. So I not only it kind of came out of pocket because I needed to facilitate the staffing. I'm there. One of my guys goes in the school to use the bathroom to find out there's no school dance tonight.
What?
I sent this woman the contract months ago, and so I, had to figure out how am I gonna handle this in a professional way, because the inner voice wants to be like, this is. And like, how could you?
Hey, my girl, what happened to you? See my side that? You know, so me link the thing that you remember put enough time and money on it. You mad? Alright, so. No, but.
So, the one thing I've learned is like, I don't have to handle it immediately. Let me calm down, not be emotional.
Yeah.
And I said, moving forward, I'm gonna have to take deposits on all your events, which is something I didn't want to necessarily have to do with schools, because with them the billing, like it goes through the PTA or sometimes it goes through the district, and so cutting 2 checks and generally the school district, they're looking for the best deal they can get. So it's like I work with them because that's great exposure. Yeah. And when we're talking like a very minimal amount, it's easier just get one payment. I'm not chasing you down. You're not a private person where like, your check's gonna bounce after your event or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, even if just to say I know you're locked in, I'm gonna take $20. Yeah. And if you cancel, guess what? I got $20. and I feel petty, but like that's what I had to do to resolve things with this client, and the professional relationship seems to be fine. Like, they understood. I mean, that's the only other challenge I could think I've acquired was last summer with having to turn down last minute calls. Because say you guys both work for me and I'm getting a call for now January 28th, which is this Saturday, and I'm like, yo, Sam, can you work? You're like, I got a date, bro. Yeah. You normally you book me 4 months in advance, at least 4 weeks in advance. Like I made plans, and now you're saying for this bread to give up my personal plans. I'm like, and I don't want, if I come off too aggressive to you, I've lost you as a staff person. It's like, no, he made me feel so guilty that I wouldn't give up my date to work, and now I'm turning away this new potential client. But again, it goes back to that beginning conversation. Like, it's better to just grow it slower. Like, in a way, I'm also saying to this client, like, I'd love to take on your business. Next time, reach out to me sooner, because then I can guarantee I'm going to give you great entertainment. You call me at the last minute, I'm just trying to put pieces together, and I don't even know what the outcome's going to be. Yeah.
All right, so the question we got is, how often do you update your music choice for your clients?
That's a good question. And,
that's a great question.
I have the worst answer as a DJ. So I recently have told people I do not listen to music. And they're like so surprised and shocked because I'm a DJ that I don't listen to music. What I do to stay on top of my game is I study the trends. So I look at the Billboard charts. I might catch a track off of TikTok. Like recently, this track by Ray, and I finally caught it on the radio. But I seen girls doing TikTok videos with it. I was like, yo, I'm downloading that track. Client playlists. Like I tell my clients, I want to give you exactly what you want. So, not that I'm becoming a jukebox, but like now I see what styles they like, what artists they like, and then it's like, then I could throw some of my selection and bangers on top of that. I actually find it more challenging to do a club nowadays than to do a private event. Like, I could do a wedding or a Sweet 16 blindfolded. The things to me that are custom are like their grand entrance, their candlelight, the cake cutting,
structure.
Those things. But like when it comes to the playlist, I'm like, oh, you like disco? I know I got my disco fire. Oh, you like Pitbull and like the Y2K music? Oh, you like 90s hip hop? Like I know what I'm gonna do inside those sets. So, but then I go to a club and you're like, I want that. I want Pop Smoke, Little Uzi, and I'm like, I'm not as familiarized because, like I said, I'm not listening to music like I should. Yes, I have it in my catalog, but if I haven't played it, it's a whole different animal. Like once I've used it and I know where I'm gonna transition to, how I'm gonna work into it and build up to that song, it becomes a weapon. But until then, it's just a song, you know.
Okay. Next question. Big shout out to Maria. Um, have you ever turned away a client? If yes, why?
Um, really, like, I want to say no.
You never had a bad experience?
Um, I definitely there's like one or two in my head that I say if they call me again,
It's definitely a no. A hard no.
I'm probably gonna like I'm like
It's a dub.
I think so and so would be better suited for your event.
Yeah.
Very professional. Very professional.
But like I've never like in terms of like actually getting the phone call. I've had some interesting phone calls. Like I did with you actually. I think they were like Romanian or something like that. And I was not familiarized with any of this Romanian music.
That was centuries ago.
And they gave me the playlist. I listened to it.
Right.
I could see from hearing it, from the tempos and things like that, what was the more like upbeat, dynamic stuff, what was the more lullaby stuff. So I categorized that. And since then, I've done like Ukrainian, Punjabi. I want to call them Persians. Yes.
Yes.
You know, and so I've done all these cultural like parties that I don't even know their catalog, but and I've rocked them, which is like awesome. Like see, like doing like a Ukrainian house set and watching it go crazy is awesome.
All right, so Howie said, if you need an MC this weekend, he got you.
I appreciate you, Howie, and without you, I probably would not. I definitely wouldn't be where I am in terms of my frame of mind, how I understand this industry, and I can't wait to start calling you guys for those stages.
Yeah,
dope.
Big shout out to Boss Man, yo.
Yeah. So next question was, what was your worst DJ experience? And I feel like this correlates with the same question. What was your hardest client story? So I feel like those two questions.
They go hand in hand.
My worst DJ experience at the time. This was actually like I talked about like this dark period where I was getting into heavy using of substances, and at the time like I'm thinking everything's like perfect, everything's peachy, and I was so I guess delirious or just like high out of my mind. The party went okay, okay enough that like music was played, the equipment was set up on time, and I got paid. That's really what I can say. It was okay, and after the fact, like there was it wasn't a heated argument, but I was just like I want to be out of this building.
Yeah.
I went down the street. And I grabbed a beer and I sit in my car in this parking lot and I passed out.
Oh.
And I wake up like in the twilight and I'm like, I look in the back of my car, my gear's not there, and I'm like, what happened? Did I get robbed? I blacked out. Like I don't remember what happened. And so now I ended up getting my equipment back from the catering hall, as soon as they opened up. And this client now for the next like 3 years. Wasn't calling. And as I got my life back together and got healthy, they were seeing this on social media. And it's crazy. That relationship has amended so well. I did a crazy holiday party for them recently, did the Memorial Day. One of my new like clients, and this woman's given me like 6 events in a year's period.
Okay.
I did like her birthday party, then her 4th of July, 2 of her friends' graduation parties for their kid, her daughter's sweet 16, a New Year's Eve party. And this is all because of that one client. Like, that was his engagement party that night. And, so that was like a rough experience. Like, when I look back, I'm like, that was like, I would, like, with lack of a better word, like, I was a shit show that.
Yeah.
Now, I've had other things, like, equipment malfunctions, like a computer crash on me, and I was and this was in the early days. Like I was prepared for that. So like I had the playlist ready to go on my phone. So like if for whatever reason I was in the middle of a song and the computer glitched, it was like bam, I'm ready to go. Never really had a speaker blow at an event.
Thank God, knock on whatever.
Like there was the two times that I had a speaker issue, it was a secondary sound system with it.
Okay.
So it was like I was doing an outdoor event and I had like these huge PA speakers and then I had, an amplified speaker and the amp on that speaker went, but at least I still had the PA speaker, so it wasn't like, and then one time that same speaker, after getting repaired, it had a little issue and that got fixed, but it also, again, I had another sound system surrounding it.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I think I kind of answered that question.
Yeah, you did.
So,
You did.
have you ever had a client not pay? I think you mentioned that about the school thing.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, that was the school thing.
The school, because the gig didn't happen.
Okay.
But right before meeting you guys, it was these two people. Like I mentioned, Bobby Shea, who kind of brought me on and taught me how to mix, and we did clubs for a long time together. And this other guy, Tommy, they started a company called Party Rock Productions.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, it was I want to say his brother's graduation or something like that. I brought in the lead and all that. And after the event, because it was booked through them, they actually paid me, them as a company paid me for my services.
Okay.
And the client had said, because they were going to write a check that night, like, we'll come to the office on Monday with cash. And Monday never happened.
Wow.
And
I know what you think, man.
yeah, so it was like,
yo, shut
I
them,
want to say like $1,600.
Oh.
And then like months later, I try to go confront the friend, like, oh, you still haven't like made right by my boys and paid them, and I don't even know why this was relevant at the time, but his house was near the local bars in town, so I went to check him after having a couple, and he said, you smell like alcohol and you're gonna come here asking me for money. I'm like, I had a beer or two. What does that have anything to do with the fact that you're negligent on a $1,600 bill from 3 months ago?
Facts.
And
Sheesh.
the two partners ended up splitting, and the whole thing. I don't even think they ever got compensated, but
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
So shout out to Beavis for not paying your bill.
Your blood clot piece of shit.
Man, we throwing names out there.
Blood clot, yo.
We are throwing names out there.
I could put his government out there.
Oh no, man.
I suck your mama dry for blood clot. All right, so wow, we got a couple questions.
All right.
What is the most important thing you've learned running your own business?
Every person could be a client, so you got to be kind to everyone.
Ooh, I like that one.
That's true.
That's absolutely true. 100%.
That's true. It's true.
I can't even.
I wanted to say something to rebuttal it, but it's not a rebuttal. It's something that I learned.
Well, so I'll give you a quick story, and we'll get to the next question.
Yeah.
Before here, I was on the phone with one of the guys that works for me, and he did a party on a Saturday, and then the next day he was at the bridal showcase that happened to be in Nassau Coliseum like 2 weeks ago, right? And a lady that was at that party happened to be working security at the bridal showcase. So just imagine like if it was the reverse. If the showcase happened and then the party, and he was a jerk at the showcase, like, where's my table going? I'm the most important person at this showcase. My company's the most important, and she's directing it. And then the next morning, he's at her niece's party, and he's like, oh, that's the guy who was a jerk to me yesterday. Let's get through today and never call that company again.
Yeah, facts. Facts. So, damn, I keep trying to read it and I keep swiping away.
That's all right.
Do you plan on expanding your business? If so, how and what are the things you would like to do?
From where I began to where I am today, it already has. Like, I was independent, freelancing, working with some other companies, so like an independent contractor. Did have like a full-time position with one company for a time period, And now, like I said, like now I have my own LLC. I have DJs that work for me. I'm constantly looking to network with other businesses in this niche, like whether it's someone that makes balloon arches or a photo booth company, photographers, decorators, caterers, limo services, flowers. There's so many different aspects. Wedding planners, all these things. I want to continue to grow, and a couple of the things as that does happen. I want to keep a high level of customer service, a high quality product, um, and then keep my pricing to reasonable. I think that's what makes me kind of be able to compete with some of the larger companies, like the families that find me. They weren't able to afford what Tommy Tunes wanted or what like EJ the DJ wanted,
Yeah.
and so but they want something that still kind of comparable. So it's like, maybe they're not getting the Lexus, but they're getting the Toyota from me.
Yeah.
So it's like the engine's still good. You're not getting the Acura, but I'm a
Yeah.
Honda.
Yeah,
so
you're not gonna
break
get
down on
stranded.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I constantly want to grow. Like there are more services I want to offer. There are things that I've seen that I want to be able to do in the future. And then, I'm gonna put this out there. And if you're still listening, Howie, if you create it, go ahead. I would love this. But confetti balloons that burst themselves. So this idea just kind of came to me. So like you take an uninflated balloon, it's packed out with the confetti, right? And then some kind of capsule that will now, like once it's broken, it will make the gas expand, inflating the balloon so it actually rises. So it would have to be like a helium capsule of some sort, or some kind of chemical reaction, like almost like an Alka-Seltzer tab or whatever.
Nah, I see what you're talking about.
And so now this uninflated balloon that's tied, you break the capsule, and it's gonna start inflating, rise to the top of the ceiling of the room. Once the balloon expands enough, it's gonna burst in a confetti explosion. I was like,
That's fucking fire.
But I don't know the science on it, and I know there's a brain out in Plainview that's very creative, and he will figure it out. So.
Yeah, but unfortunately, these venues they hate confetti and all that crap,
Yeah,
bro.
because it's a lawsuit. Yeah, you slip on a piece of confetti, you tear your ankle, tear LCL. Yeah.
Oh my.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Caterers love confetti.
Yeah.
Sarcasm.
Yeah.
That's definitely sarcasm behind that.
Cleaning it up.
Yeah.
That's
It's not even
definitely
it's
sarcasm.
really it's a liability.
I had someone ask me for a bubble machine. I was like, "You bring it, that's fine. If I bring it, it's a lawsuit waiting to happen."
You know what I mean? So, the next question is: now that you are no longer a novice, what advice can you give to Howie and the PH Event Group? She trying to start beef.
She trying to start beef.
Is that what the fuck?
Well, all right. I still think I'll always be learning. And I learn from larger companies. I learn from smaller companies. So, I mean, the advice I would give anybody in any business is to watch your competitors, learn from their mistakes, learn from their successes. One thing that I've taken, and this isn't necessarily from being with them, I saw it actually more so with my last partner. I try to make sure where my goal is yes, I want to succeed in business, but it's not necessarily underneath the lucrativeness of it.
Okay.
Yes, it's a business, and I'm trying to make my income off it, and I want to be very successful with it. But if I get too greedy, then the money becomes my focus, and not the client, and not the product, and not my staff. I didn't feel like when I worked with this last individual that I just parted ways with, that I thought was going to be my business partner. I didn't feel like he really cared about anyone. He was selling foam LEDs to day parties. I'm like, those won't even glow outside at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm like, you just robbing this client.
That's crazy.
And he was like, yeah, I don't care. They wanted it.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be something I would tell him. I was like, I understand you want these light up glow sticks, but your party is gonna be so bright that it's gonna be.
It's just a foam stick.
Why don't we do sunglasses as a giveaway? All the kids are gonna have shades. It's gonna be bright out. Blah blah. And so like something like that. Like, going back to what originally got you in this industry would be my advice to a larger company, and making sure that your ideals are still in line with that. Am I trying to give the best product to my client? Am I trying to employ the highest level of entertainment? Things like that. And their ideas might have been different, than what mine were. It might have been, I want to make a ton of money and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
If that's what it was, are you still making money and are you still having fun doing it? Because now you become a boss and owner, and sometimes it's not fun anymore. So maybe if it's not fun anymore, you need to get some other people in place so you can have fun with the money you're making and not stress out so much.
Facts.
Elaborate answer, I know.
Nah, but that was pretty on the nail, man. I definitely understand it. Definitely resonate, yo.
All right, so here's my question. Being on our podcast so far, it's actually a two-part question. What was your most memorable moment, and what would you want changed now that you're officially part of the podcast? Like, what would you want? Like, okay, I don't like this segment, or I don't like how this is set up, or we could add this to make it more creative, or do whatever.
So the most memorable moment, definitely like, I love when we had Nikki here at the lingerie show. We were uncomfortable at moments, but like we've had like a lot of great guests. So it's like each one of them, like I took away something. Like when we had oh my god, I can't remember her name, but the ginger tea lady.
Oh yeah, shout out to Loretta.
Yeah,
shout out to Loretta.
The cookie spot here, like they don't even know what happened afterwards. So I get home and for some reason, my little one will always notice the slightest difference in my apartment. And he's like, "What's that box, Daddy?" And I'm like, "I want this."
Yo, you're mad at
cookies. Yeah. So I tell him like, "How did I got these cookies from the show Daddy does?" And he's like, "Now we want cookie." I'm like, "You have to eat dinner first." He slams his dinner down. I cut the cookie because they're so giant in half, and he was like in heaven, like it was like the most delicious thing he ever had in his life, and he's only been around for 5 years, so he was so happy. We just recently had Jeff. My child's fingerprints are no longer on my television. Thank you so much. That formula in your glass spray actually is amazing. I'm trying to think of like a few other of the guests, but just like being a part of it is an experience. Now the second part of the question, we're unscripted, which I like. Like we're gonna come shoot off the hip, improv. Like our questions aren't gonna be pre-prepared, where our guests can be like ready to answer these. They're gonna really come from the heart. Their answer. But I think we could be a little more formatted. In terms of like, all right, our first part of our questions might be based on like. Generally, they are like, how'd you get into your business? What's your background? Then what do you like? Now the meat and potatoes about it, and then the ending, like, well, where do you see yourself? So we do kind of do that, but it's not in stone where like, this is what we're doing.
Okay, part 1 is this, part 2 is that, and then part 3 is this.
Yeah.
It's like what I noticed with media, like the news will come on.
Yeah.
Like policeman shot, story at 6. You watching the whole news, like I gotta watch this stuff on Biden that I don't care about. The stupid laws that are changing in our current town to find out where this cop was shot, and that's at the end of the hour, the last segment. They'll even do the sports, which I already know what's going on with sports because like I can just Google that, but that's what keeps me locked in. So it's like maybe us if we know our next guest, so like something that, like that cliffhanger to like. Yo, you gotta tune in next week, cause Winnie, we gonna shave his head. He's going bald next week.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen, y'all. Like I know that right now. That is never gonna happen. The flow gonna be flowing, baby.
Your man, touch which ear? What guest would you like me to see on the podcast? What guest would you like to? I guess basically, what kind of guest would you want in the next podcast?
Well, I actually have a friend, and we became friends because I had a very bad incident when I bought my new phone at Verizon, and I had to go to another Verizon store, and I won't get too into the incident, but this one guy was actually able to do his job, and the other one refused to want to do his job. And this guy that got me my phone, he writes music.
Oh, okay.
Right? And he just finished some work on his new track, and he hit me up today, which is just crazy. He's like, "How do I get on your podcast?" And I said, "Well, I tagged Sam in the story part on my Instagram. I was like, reach out to him and because he has the calendar, he knows what's up and coming."
Yeah, I mean we got
Yeah, we booked till March.
March 15th is the next available date.
Rocket to Granny.
You got that? March 15th. All right. If not,
Isn't that crazy,
we'll
bro?
get you on sooner than that. I mean, after that.
Makes no sense, Dave, bro.
That's a great thing,
But
man.
I think
No,
what
just
we do, like getting entrepreneurs, getting like people that are trying to put something out there instead of just like, let's just get some random Walmart worker that's struggling. She got 5 kids. Baby daddy's in jail. Like, I mean, that could be an interesting story in itself.
See the way he used to beat my ass. Oh, no.
All right, so we have 10 minutes left.
10 minutes.
Yeah, so you
I know what I have not done today.
What's up, man?
I haven't played enough music.
Okay, let's do it, man.
So it's gonna be the lightning round right now. I want to see questions come up on the Instagram. All right, I will give short, quick, concise answers now. Here we go, yo.
Hey, yo, Bo knows this.
What?
Bo knows that.
What?
But Bo don't know Jack, cause Bo can't rap. So what do you know? The ditto is next up to bat. Nah, I'm sure.
Who's that, Brown?
Oh, man.
That was actually Busta Rhymes' first mainstream track that he was sampled on. He was doing music before that, but when he got up with them, that was his first like major.
That actually, that broke him out the.
Yeah, I forget what crew he was with before. And then a few years later, it was with Wu-Hawk.
Oh, she going crazy. She said, "What's your favorite color?"
Sky blue, but that was
Sky blue.
Kid.
Mine is baby blue. That's funny.
Now Yankee blue is my real favorite, but like it's still blue.
That's
when I was a
funny.
kid, it was sky blue.
What do you do on your day off, or do you have days off?
So I don't look at my life anymore with a day off. I perform most weeks, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Monday I get to do my favorite job. If I'm not working on Sunday, that job starts on Sunday. So I grab my little man. I get to be his father, and that's great. He always brings like inspiration, joy, and then the rest of the week, like if I keep him until Tuesday night, Wednesday and Thursday I call like administrative days. So it's like when I'm downloading music, sending out contracts, getting insurance out to catering halls, following up with staff members. I have my team on like a cloud account. So I actually do all the facilitation for my clients. And so I would put the playlist or the requests on the cloud for the DJ to pull off and then email out those itineraries. So I look at once you become a business owner, I think you guys will agree, it's almost 24/7. You definitely do have to clock out and do some you things, get some me time in there. But
Time don't stop.
Yeah.
Damn. Oh, what's your favorite party?
What's your favorite type of party?
My favorite type of party.
I feel like 90s, yo.
I rat a private house party for only your grown folks. No
Facts.
children are allowed to be there.
Facts.
So I don't have to worry about.
Fuck them damn kids.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them damn kids.
I play Pony into WAP and they go crazy and I don't let up like the whole time. It's like I gotta, from the second people are walking in the door and I press play, I gotta keep them jams and keep on building and building and building. So the intensity is great. And that would be a shout out to Assam and Brian because that was the engagement party I burned, and their house parties tend to be my favorite events.
The other question was, how do you balance parenthood with your business?
So this is something I say, and I think I've been kind of candid about it. But like I am in recovery, so I'm actually coming up on 4 years of sobriety.
Woo!
And February 1st, that's a blessing.
Facts.
And I say this mantra: my recovery comes first, then being a father, and then my business. Because if I don't stay sober, guess what? I'm either dead or in jail. So I'm not gonna be a very good father if I'm in jail, and I ain't gonna be able to do anything if I'm dead.
Facts.
And I wouldn't have a business, and so I gotta keep those things in line. So you know, it's very interesting. My kid will come to some of my 12-step meetings with me, and he'll be wild until they actually say, "Let's start the meeting," and then he just knows, and he'll sit down and he'll be quiet. He'll go on his tablet or play on my phone. He's going to a couple of parties with me. Like I've gotten to do events at his school, which is awesome, and he loves that when DJ Daddy's there. But I had his mother couldn't watch him one weekend, and
I know that all too well.
Yeah, can you take him? I'm like, I got an event, babe, and I'm like, yo, I'll figure it out. So I call my younger cousin, who's 17 now, to babysit at the event. It happened to be this little girl's 8th birthday party. I called the client. He was a fairly good friend of mine. I was like, yo, do you mind if I bring my son to your daughter's birthday party? He's like, no problem. So little man is there doing his thing. They had mermaids show up in the middle of this party that got in the pool and swam with the kids. My son is all over Ariel like he's Prince Ariel.
I'm done.
That's my mermaid.
Hey, how are you? You have come to save me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like God kind of makes it all work out.
Amen. 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 You know what I'm saying? I have to say amen again. It's crazy because shout out to Party Hardy Entertainment. Last weekend I was emceeing for this thing called the Limb Kind Foundation.
I saw a lot of media on that. I saw you guys on 12. Not only mutual friends in the industry that were involved with that. Their posts, your posts, like this was huge.
Yeah, it was, man. And I actually recorded this one guy. I'm gonna quote him, and he said something that was so profound. Like, I mean, I had like 10 minutes of him speaking about just what he went through and how he deals with certain things. And it wasn't like, oh, this is boring. It was very emotional, like to the point where I was crying. Like, if you guys don't know, like I cry. Like I'm very sympathetic and empathetic. Like I can feel emotions from people. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. So he said something along the lines of, he said, you guys, if we're out eating and I drop my fork, he said, without question, you guys will pick up my fork with a smile because you are empathetic and sympathetic. He said, I wear my problems visually, right? He said, but, we don't know what you're dealing with because it's not visual. But, make sure that you express what you're dealing with so somebody else can pick up your fork. You know what I'm saying? That was the deepest thing I ever heard in my life. So, there's a reason why, at the end of each podcast, I say that you are loved. And I think a lot of people tend to forget that, hey, there's somebody out there, even if there's nobody that you feel, I'm willing to tell you, yo, bro, I love you. Or sis, I love you. You know what I mean? I care for you, except, because, like, there's so much to it and everything else like that. So, Mike, we're happy to have you here, man. We love you. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that just to say that, and everything else. So,
well, now it's time for a music plug then.
You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? Shout out to the Queen Bee.
These two guys have shown me love since day one, and even in the time that we weren't working together, you guys still reached out. Like, yo, keep on doing your thing, keep on chasing your dream. And
100%.
That support was a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and it's always gonna be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're always gonna be the one to say, look, because, I think that people forget that it's a human community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, the facade of social media and how everybody wants to portray that their life is perfect and nothing is wrong, and and I think breaking down these boundaries and like saying, you know what, yeah, I'm dealing with something, you know what I mean, and it's big of you to even say, hey, I went to this dark period in my life and I sought help, and I am, thanking God for this progress that I'm making, and I'm, definitely trusting the Creator that all things are gonna work out, so I can be here for my son, so I can, help somebody else who may not see the right path to going forward and everything else like that. So, I always tell the guys that I work with and women, that, from an outside perspective, it looks like Sam has it all together. You know what I mean? And I know that everybody trusts my leadership per se, but it's in reality that, like, I'll look at Winnie and be like, all right, Winnie has a certain look. You know what I mean? He looks cool to me. Okay, so Winnie, this is gonna be your responsibility. All right. Kasim has a lot of great ideas. All right, this is gonna be your responsibility. You know what I mean? And what I'm meaning all of this by mentioning all these people is just allocating and sharing some of the responsibility and load, and it's saying it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
No, because it's weight bearing, and
it is.
You let it go.
It is. It's. You know what I mean? Like it is that. So, but we've come to a close. It's been an hour. Like it just goes like this. So I want you to give people your social media, please.
Yeah, man.
All right, so you can find me on Instagram at DJMVP1. The number 1, you don't have to type out 1. Other than that, I got Facebook, but I like to keep that private. So just find me on Instagram. Oh, you can get me on TikTok too. DJMVP01, okay? Or 01.
Okay. I like it. Mr. GQ Win. Matter of fact, hold on, Mr. GQ Win.
Damn, bro.
You're going to have to switch with me. You know what I mean? I'm going to switch with you, Mr. GQ Win, because you got to do a little fashion show real quick. Show them, you know what I mean? People on Facebook and everywhere else, they can see you, but, you know what I mean? They want to see, oh, you got the old man grunt.
No. I ain't old, but. Yes, man. Showing y'all the latest design that we just did. We just did. Sam helped me, and I really appreciate it as always. But we got like this whole line. We got a lot of stuff showing y'all. Jackets. Definitely like when spring comes around, summer comes around, we got a lot like ideas and stuff to come up, man. This whole unscripted thing we got for this umbrella, man, is just it's a vibe, and just the fact that we could like have our ideas come together and bring it to into fruition is a dope feeling, man. So this is a jacket that I did make with Sam, and on the back, this is how I feel.
Don't trip.
You feel me?
Don't trip. Don't trip. You might feel calm. Yes, man. I for sure them blood clot you.
Don't need no social approval. You feel me?
Yeah, man. So.
But yeah, man. 3 underscores GQ Win. Just GQ Win, just like this, man. GQ Win. And 3 underscores. Y'all know the vibes.
Bet. So, to all you amazing people out there, you can follow us on all social media platforms, Unscripted Podcast. So, it's unscriptedp.cast on Facebook and Instagram, Unscripted Pcast on Twitter, and I think it's also unscriptedp.cast on TikTok. We have like 2 videos. We're gonna start posting more on there just to get the awareness out of there. And then mine, of course, is Sam Legacy, MOWETA, on all social media platforms. And we appreciate you, Mike. We're happy to have you to be part of our team, man.
I'll be here every week as long as I'm not booked.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are valued. You can do whatever you set your mind to as long as you believe it.
You can achieve it.
Very, very good. We are the Unscripted Podcast, all 3 of us. Ready? All talk. And we are out of here. Yo, Wayne, do me a favor. Just hit that bottom button on the left. There's a video box. Top left. Go to the left. Yep. You see it says scenes, the bottom one. You see that little gray screen?
Nah.
All right, I'm gonna help you. I'm walking over.
Outro.
Yeah, buddy.
Said outro.
I mean, just hit that play button. Just hit it. You know what I mean?